Good day, everyone. Today we are gathered here to discuss to you all the different sides in every sectors about the mother tongue-based multilingual education implementation. I am the researcher mediator of the study entitled Starting Where the Children Are, a Process Evaluation of the MTBMLE Implementation. We will start to know the side of the government, followed by the educator, which are the DepEd and school, and the parents from the public and private school, and lastly, the language expert. The purpose of this study is to shed lights on the effect of MTBMLE on the English literacy of Filipinos. The result of this study may help parents, teachers, and policymakers make informed decisions in which education path to take. And now, we are going to ask first the government. My question for government is, what are the educational basis of government in applying the MTBMLE? Would you be agree or disagree?
Well, for me, I will agree because MTBMLE policy involves the implementation of local mother tongue as a language of instruction in K1 to K3. And also as a response to the act of UNESCO enjoining countries to preserve national identity and make education available for all. The Philippine Past Republic Act No. 10533, otherwise known as Enhanced Basic Education Act of 2013. This act requires instruction, instructional materials, and assessment to be in the learner's mother tongue education that accurately reflects the country's own linguistic diversity. And of course, especially when it comes to indigenous people's rights and supports, indigenous communities' self-determination, culture, and political resilience or cultural survival, envisions a future that respects and honors indigenous people inherent rights and dynamic cultures, deeply and richly interwoven in lands, language, spiritual traditions, and artistic expressions rooted to self-determination and self-governance.
Thank you. So, next is DepEd. My question for DepEd is, the DepEd is pushing for inclusion of MTBMLE as the feature of Enhanced Basic Education Program. Can you say that implementation of MTBMLE is mandatory?
Well, of course, because the Department of Education, Department Order 74-2009, otherwise we also known as the Mother Tongue-Based Multilingual Education, mandates the use of language where the scholar is familiar with, or what we call as the native language, as a medium of instruction, because DepEd implements mother tongue-based learning to make the lessons more active and easier for them. So since the scholars are monolingual and knows what is language used by their native language, so mandating the MTBMLE will serve as their foundation to develop their mother tongue before learning another language. Then the mother tongue as a medium of instruction is used in all areas of kindergarten to grade 3. In the first 3 years of the student, they can develop their 4 macro skills, such as the speaking, listening, reading, and writing, in order for them to understand and master of all the subjects, especially in math and science. DepEd also formulate Mother Language Transitions Program by using Filipino and English from grade 4 to grade 6, and it will become as a medium of instruction on the secondary level.
Thank you for your point of view. So let's hear the side of school. My question is, what are your bases in agreeing with the implementation of MTBMLE? Any thoughts about it?
Mother tongue is the best language to introduce young age of education. I guess there is nothing wrong with using mother tongue as a medium of instruction at primary and at AD level. Let us remove the colonial mentality. What is education really for? If it is for personal and community development that is the way to go. The main purpose of schooling is to help them understand and interact with their surroundings and to acquire very basic literacy, numeracy, and thinking skills. Mother tongue is the language they use to communicate at home and with peer group. Up to the age of 5, children can learn languages very easily. So we can teach them any number of languages in a parallel. But it is preferable that the method of instruction should remain same for primary school and high school, for whether it is mother tongue or any other language to make them think and express their thoughts better.
So let's move on to parents. My question is, as a parent of a student in a public school, would you agree or disagree about the implementation of the MTB-MLE program? Why do you think so?
I would disagree with what's being implemented because as early as the child's schooling and learning stage, they should start strengthening their English skills, especially with the students in a public school for having a diverse languages. Also, learning mother tongue is a continuous process that can be taught outside the school, specifically in our home. So, even if English will be used as a medium of instruction in schools, at the end of the day, children will always go back on the first language that they're used to. Another is that the use of mother tongue is already established within the child. It's just that learning the English language can be beneficial for them and will lead them to a wider reality of life, as well as opportunities. But that doesn't mean that their mother tongue will be set aside and forgotten, because as long as they are well exposed from it, it is something that can be taken away from them.
So thank you. So let's hear the point of view of private school.
So the school in private school is not implementing this program because it depends upon us whether we would implement it or not, because private schools are not under the DepEd. Another thing is that native language can be learned even without going to school. This can be taught by us parents and when the environment they are exposed to. I would disagree if this would be implemented in our school because as a parent, it is our responsibility to teach our children the mother tongue that we have. So when sending them to school, it's their time to learn another language that will benefit them in the future.
Upon hearing sides of government, educators, and parents, so let's move on to language expert. As a language expert, what can you say about implementing MTB-MLE?
So the problem is the changes in basic education curriculum, which is the implementation of the mother tongue-based multilingual education, or the MTB-MLE, specifically in grade 1, grade 2, grade 3, and also in the kindergarten. Since the both parents are disagree the implementation of the MTB-MLE program, so there's a theory that holds their stance. So it is called linguistic threshold hypothesis, means in second language acquisition that basically states that in order for a child to achieve any benefits of bilingualism, they must have a minimum competency and proficiency in either the first or second language.
So since you mentioned the linguistic threshold hypothesis, can you support your claims?
So the MTB-MLE refers to first language first education, that is schooling which begins in the mother tongue and transition to additional languages. Since a child's own language enables her or him to express themselves easily, then there is no fear of making mistakes. It encourages active participation by children in the learning process because they understand what is being discussed and what is being asked of them. Then they can immediately use their mother tongue to construct and explain their answer. Other places or countries are implemented the MTB-MLE, like in the Chittagong Hill Tracts of Bangladesh. The enrollment rate in primary school is less than 60% with a high dropout rate. one of the most critical contributing factors is that children do not understand the language of instruction, which is Bangla, and the curriculum does not relate to their culture. So to address this issue, a MTV MLE program was set up to provide two relevant learning materials. So the success of this program, along with others, has resulted in the Bangladesh government acknowledging MTV MLE program in the national education policy. So I suggest that MTV MLE will be implemented here in the Philippines.
Thank you. The bottom line for this discussion is that no matter what your second language is, as long as you don't forget the language you have grown up. Thank you.